Good morning and a very warm welcome back to the channel. So you find me riding through the little village of Thorney, which can only mean one thing. We're on our way back to Sycamore Royal Enfield in Peterborough because it's time for the Bear's first service. Okay guys, so not a million miles away from Peterborough now. There's currently 284 miles on the clock. It's 8:13 AM and I've got to be there at 8:30, so I need to get a little bit of a wriggle on, but we should just about make it. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride with me, probably show you a little bit around the dealership. I'll tell you how much the service costs, what they do on the first service, and then on the way back we'll find a nice twisty little piece of road. We'll open her up properly and I'll give you my my first impressions of being able to use a little bit more of the rev range. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video. Okay folks, so just coming into Sycamore now. It is nice to spend more time over here than to do at home at the moment. So there's the Enfield dealership that you've seen on the channel before, but the service centre is just round to the left at BMW. So should we park this up just here, I think. So 294 miles on the clock, so we're ever so slightly late. It's now 8:32, a little bit more traffic than I anticipated, but let's drop this off for a service. Just before I do that, just noticed the BMW C02 parked next to me. I test rode that on the channel probably about 7 or 8 months ago now, so yeah, cool little bike, lots of fun. So I'll try and remember to leave a link in the description down to that video below. Right, let's drop this thing off. Okay, so I've been over here quite a bit recently, but I've never really shown you around the showroom, so let's have a little look around to see what they've got. So kicking off with the 249 Bear, very, very nice, a bike I kind of ummed and ahed about and was very close to pulling the trigger on myself. Then moving on to a nice red and white Super Meteor, and then a burgundy and white classic 350. Sorry, classic 650, and then classic 350 at the end. Also a camo Himalayan, which you may or may not be seeing on the channel. Not this particular one, but something very, very similar in the not too distant future. And then the Wild Honey Bear. Moving on to the petrol green, gorgeous Gorilla 450 here. I think I'd probably go for this colour, either this one or the yellow and purple if I had to pull the trigger on this. Nice grey Himalayan, and a load more bikes down there. Over this side of the showroom, something very special indeed. So two very, very custom Royal Enfields. Sycamore have got a bit of an open day this weekend to test ride a load of bikes. That will have been and gone by the time you see this video. But this is a 411 engine in a highly customised frock. So you can see just how thin this seat is. Absolutely tiny, and you're pretty much sitting on the handlebars. Not that this bike, of course, is going to be ridden on the road, but very, very cool design nonetheless. And then moving on here, we've got a Hunter 350 that has been cafe raced. This will be a little bit divisive in terms of the colour scheme, I'm sure. Slick tyres on there. You'll either love them or you hate it. Obviously, again, not for the road. I'll just take you around. See the clocks, clip-on handlebars, but interesting bikes nonetheless. Loads of clothing at the back there. I'll just take you over to this this Continental GT 650. Heavily customised, this little fly screen on the front of it. Got the Royal Enfield panniers on the back that look pretty cool. Got the racing cowl at the back as well. This is a bike I've never actually ridden, but wouldn't mind checking out to see if they've got a demo at some point. There's a list here, everything you've got on there. Bar end mirrors that I know better to be seen, but yeah, looks pretty cool. I'm sure you'll agree. Right, let's pop over to BMW and see if they're finished with my Bear. Okay, so here she is after the first service. Let's jump back on. That's 295 miles on the auto when I left her. Up to 298 now. Obviously we've done a couple of miles, just testing everything. One thing that's been bugging me a little bit about this bike the last couple of weeks, or since I've owned it should I say, which is 3 weeks to the day now, is the clutch. It felt a little bit clunky, especially when you first started the bike up. I don't know if they've adjusted it or done something to it, or it's the change in oil that's made a difference to the gear change, but it feels an awful lot better than it did before, so that's definitely a plus point. But what I'll do is I'll switch the camera off now, because knowing my luck we're going to be at this roundabout for a year and a day again, and I'll switch it back on a little bit later when we get to some twisty roads and open her up a little bit. Okay folks, so 313 miles on the clock. I wanted to give you the first blast with this on camera, so third gear, 60 miles an hour, let's take it up to 6. You know what guys, I just changed at 5,000 revs there, and the bike's got more than enough punch. I'm not somebody that tends to rev my engines massively. I like to ride off the torque instead, so yeah, I can take it up to 6,000 revs now, but I don't feel as though there's any real need at this moment in time. I'm more than happy to kind of stick it to 5. It's got more than enough poke, like I say. This bike has now got to be running. I'll just slow it down a little bit, just in case that wind noise is a little bit too loud. This bike has still got to be running up to 1,250 miles, and the first 300 miles running this in at 57 miles an hour, I'll be honest guys, it wasn't really any hardship. Probably because the 411 Himalayan period to begin with was so arduous. This seems like a luxury compared to that. But I really do not feel as though I'm going to miss anything from this bike. It's not taking it anything above 6,000 revs for the next 900 miles or so. I really don't. It's got more than enough mid-range to do everything I want it to do. So yeah, super happy I can exploit a little bit more of the power this bike's got. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be taking it to 6,000 revs all the time. That was up to 6,000 revs there, and very quickly we're nearly at national speed limit speeds, and that's one of the reasons guys I got rid of the Triumph Street Triple in the first place. You could basically do that in second gear. So yeah, super happy to have this first service out of the way. Like I mentioned earlier, the gear change feels a little bit better now, so super happy with that as well. In terms of what they did on the service, not a huge amount. They gave me a bit of a checklist that I'll try and remember to film and chuck on the screen now for you, different bits and bobs they checked. And apart from that, it was an oil and filter change. In terms of pricing for this, £170. Well, I knew it was going to be expensive, and I'll be honest guys, that's kind of the price I paid for the not for the first service on the Himalayan. That was well over £200 because I needed the valve clearances doing on that particular service. But for the first annual service on the Himalayan, that was a similar kind of price. So yeah, it was kind of to be expected. It's at a dealer, so yeah, you kind of know you're going to be paying those prices really. But what I think I may do, rather than getting the Himalayan's last service in warranty done at the main dealer, I think I'm either going to take it to an independent, make sure they use genuine Royal Enfield parts, or better still, I might have a crack at doing that by myself, just to save a little bit of cash when you've got two bikes that you're putting through dealer services. you know, that soon adds up, and yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that. Oh, this road's a bit dodgy, really dodgy. Anyway guys, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today's video. So as always, thank you all so very much for watching. Take care, ride safe. Until the next time, goodbye.